Hi everybody, welcome back to Enjoying Retirement. Today is another Cooking for Old Guys chicken soup with orzo. But first, a word from our sponsor. Okay, now let's get on with it. Here are the ingredients you'll need. It looks a lot more complicated than it really is, so just keep on watching. First, we're going to dice up one onion. And then we're going to dice up about 3 good-sized carrots, or if you have a hard time cutting up carrots, go ahead and use a can of sliced carrots. They are nice and soft. Just dice them up a little bit more. Then we have a pan over on the stove ready to go. We're going to take 1 tablespoon of butter, put it in the pan. We'll initially set it to about 4 or 5 on it. Get the butter melting, and another 2 tablespoons of oil to go with that. Stir it up a little bit, get the oil and butter mixed up, and then go ahead and bring the onions and the carrots over, put it in. What we're going to do here, we're going to spend the next 5 to 7 minutes just sauteing that so that the carrots and onions start smelling pretty good and get a little bit softer. If you use real carrots, it'll probably give it a little bit more time to get ready. If you use canned carrots, they're already pretty soft and you're pretty good. So about 5 minutes there. Oh, but first, why are we making soup? This is why. But it's pretty. Nonetheless, it is a great day for chicken soup. Back to work. All right, so we've had this going for about 5 minutes. Now we're going to add a heap of minced garlic. For us, a heap means a whole lot. If you don't like garlic, then skip it or define heap as something less. We like garlic. Now we're going to put in 1.5 teaspoons of salt. We like to use coarse sea salt. Be careful if you use regular table salt, you'll get a different amount. Put a little bit less in. Then a teaspoon of pepper, teaspoon of oregano, and a teaspoon of thyme. More or less to suit your own flavor preferences. Mix that all up. Give it about a minute for the garlic to start smelling good, and then add 3 tablespoons of flour. Don't ever tell an old guy this, but at this point I think he's made a roux. He wouldn't know what that is, but hey, don't tell him. All right, get that mixed up, and we're going to brown the flour a little bit. That flour is going to thicken up the soup when we get to that point a little bit later on. So after about a minute, we are slowly going to start whisking in chicken broth. You want to do that because you don't want what you already have in there to clump up. So just take it slowly at first, get it all nice and even, and then you can go ahead and pour the rest in. Remember, we're looking at about 6 cups of chicken stock. All right, we've got that in there. We're almost ready. The next one is a pasta called orzo. They look like big grains of rice, but they are pasta. They are really good in a soup like this because they cook really quick. A lot of surface area for the mass involved, so go ahead and use 1 cup there. And then take one of the large cans of chicken breast that's already cooked. Hey, since we're making chicken soup, go ahead and pour in the water there. Just shred the chicken chunks a little bit. Don't have to do it too much. You can get it more in the pan. And then go ahead and add that can in. We like to use chicken breast already cooked because it's a real simple way to make some good meals. Go ahead and stir that up. And we are going to bring it to a simmer and let that simmer about 13 to 15 minutes. And that's when it's going to do the cooking. Sorry for the weird microwave thing, but trust me, 13 to 15 minutes. Looking good. Make sure that you keep stirring it so that the orzo doesn't stick to the bottom and burn, and everything gets mixed up nicely. Once it's reached near a boil, you can go ahead and turn it down for the rest of the time. You don't want it to boil away, you just want it to simmer. Once you're done, Stir it up one more time, and then move it off the heating element onto the cooler part. Because now we're going to add some sour cream. You can use a quarter cup of cream or even regular milk. But you don't want to do it while it's still boiling. You might curdle it. So move it off to the cool side, let the bubble stop, and then go ahead and put it in. If you're using sour cream, use a whisk to break it up, and it will thicken up your soup pretty nicely. You don't have to put that in there if you don't like it. You can just have a little bit thinner soup, and it is just as good. Well, there you have it. You have now just made chicken soup with orzo. And that orzo is pretty good. Here's the finished product. Nice and creamy and warm and great for that snowy day we're having today. Well, hope you enjoyed that. As always, I am enjoying retirement.